You know, when you're a rookie, you feel like you got nothing to lose.
Pretty much every match in Hanoi, also with the Perry, spectacular player, but at the height of his game right now. I don't expect him to fumble.
Another bounce of the cue ball that made this guaranteed. Now, Neuhausen does like to go forward with the cue ball. He plays a lot of shots with the high ball. That's why he's nailed it in the middle of the pocket.
I think there's big benefit to what you just said. He does play with a high ball a lot more than some players, right? And I think that the benefit to that is in wet conditions, tight pockets, you're going to open the pocket up a bit more with that high cue ball. He did not get into this one.
He was simply scared of overdrawing it up near the boat line. He was frightened of the table. He knew it could fly back. It's responsive. He's just decelerated.
Yeah, and that's something we did see him do a time or two, is bring the Q-tip up upon delivery. And I agree with you. I think he was concerned about overdrawing it, but if you overdraw it, you have the side pocket. No excuse for that mistake.
Yeah, well said, Scott. Sounds harsh, but perfectly put. This is, well, Shaw's out now at the table, giving his input.
Yeah, I'd probably tell him to hit it. Maybe even make it.
Well, we do say it pays to hit. Good things can happen. Can he find contact off two rails? He can. I'll tell you what, has he made it? Close.
Yeah, there's no second place prize and close. Team Asia looking to go up 4 games to 1.
I know Yap won the MVP last year. That's off a points situation. You know, you win a point per match you win. But I thought this guy here was exceptional. Juan Quoc Quang, the Vietnamese #1. He's got a massive online following. 9-ball pool over there. We've just been there, Scott. It's crazy. They love it, don't they?
Yeah, special place. I know I can't wait to get back there. And to your point on this man at the table, man, he really looks to be stepping it up each event, getting stronger and stronger. All right, watch out, cue ball. It's going to finish on the rail. Changes things a little bit.
Look how he's cueing this one. He's striking down. He pumps it in. Wang steals the rack, gives it the fist. Asia on the hill, 4-1. 12 months ago, Asia won the opening 4. 4-0 they led before losing the team point. And of course it was Duong Quoc Quang who played the first singles point of the event last year. He beat Eklund Kapchi 5 racks to 2.
Yeah, and it kind of starts off, though. FSR misses the 8, game #1. Right, it becomes toxic. It can just kind of carry over. Not saying that the team feels something bad from that, but it seems to happen more often than not.
38 years of age, from Vietnam, world ranking number 23. They can see his prize money, but he's a massive star over there. Anytime he does some kind of social media post and video, we're talking thousands of comments, aren't we, Scott? You know, when he was at the venue in Hanoi, you know, he took him about half an hour to get in the taxi just from the venue to get back home. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a pretty good sign when you're such a star in your own town, and the reason being is he's such a great person.
Well, it's going to be the current world champion, the man who won $250,000 in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in the middle part of this year, who's going to be breaking to draw first blood. Made the ball.
Yeah, this format a little different, right? Does he tend to want to attack in this position versus playing a singles match? I don't really know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with banking at this ball. You're leading 4-1 in the format. You need 1 rack. Or do you just play the percentages and tuck?
Yeah, can he bank this and get the cue ball over to the right for a shot on the red 3?
Yeah, and he's going at it, Carl.
That's nice. Very nice. More the cue ball. The bank, you kind of fancy him for it, don't you? But the pace to get on the red 3 was perfect.
Yeah, and that kind of shot there, I figured the cue ball might really lengthen out. Table playing sweet. Like the cue ball holding up well. It's not diving off the rails the way you would expect it to. There's a good look at a legend right there. A very good friend of mine, a good friend of yours, Carl. Francisco Bustamante, one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, and a little bit like Carlo, they have their own quirky way of kind of going around the table. This needs to go. Yeah, good shot. They have these unique cue actions, don't they, in funny ways at the table, the Filipinos, but they're just so inventive. They're just so good to watch.
And just got a glimpse of Puch Puyat, one of the promoters of this event, Puyat Sports.
Yeah, you got a glimpse of the middle finger of Beato. He does that very unique. He moves it up and down.
Yeah, pretty big statement here, Carl boys.
Yeah, a statement where, in fairness, Asia have had opportunities, but they've come with some good shots. The bank here on the hill, nailed it. He got on the 3.
Yeah, AJ Manis with a clean sweep as well. That's a statement in itself.
This is not one team rest of the world captained by Jeremy Jones wanted, but these team points, it can be a little bit funny, but for Asia there's nothing funny here because they've won it, and they've won it pretty convincing. 5 racks to 1, and it's the world champ, the current world champ.
A player who has so much promise and ability, and AJ Manis, really aggressive style of player. Hanoi Open Junior champion just 2 years ago, partner in the form player in the world of 9-ball right now in Aloysius Yap. Last year's MVP, of course. So to find out how they fare against Jason Shaw and FSR, let's join Scott Frost and Michael McMullen.
Yeah, thanks, Abigail. So whether in this event or the Moscone, we always talk about that opening team match setting the tone for the entire first night. History has shown there's a lot in that, but here in Manila last year, it was Asia who lost the opener from 4-0 up, remember, but then turned it around to win the next 2 matches and never trailed again all week. Europe could really do with an equally quick response.
You get the feeling that this is a vital match for many, many reasons. More than one, but the biggest reason in my opinion is the morale for Shaw and FSR and Team ROW. If FSR wins this match, gives them a lot of confidence going forward for the rest of the team. If they fall behind here, you just feel that the magnitude might be hard to overcome. Going to the rollout here, it's going to be a complete snooker. So the rail first available from either side, whether it's the front or the back of the blue two. Jason taking a peek at the yellow and black 9 ball here. That would be kicking off the left long rail, sending the 2 up table. Yeah, this would be extra cute here to see if this ball goes in. Would be slick. You'd like to just chip the top side of the 2 and send the 9 towards the lower right corner.
Just exactly the sort of thing Europe didn't want to see happening in the open rack. Chance for Asia to build on the momentum they've generated. A couple of mistakes from the European point of view in the team match. Most obviously the missed 8 in the side from Sanchez Ruiz.
Yeah, he squeaks that one down. AJ mentioned that he wanted to slow down a bit in this format. Find that a little interesting. Anytime you're trying to flirt with your own pace, it can cause a few issues. We haven't seen any issues from him yet. It's early.
Yap did it all last year, didn't he? In this Reyes Cup, potted the winning 9, won the MVP, won all of his matches in singles and doubles. A great atmosphere in here as he was closing out a victory against Francisco Sanchez Ruiz that got Asia over the line, and the crowd chanting MVP, MVP, the stuff of dreams. But less so, that missed 4 in the side, and a bit of a let-off for the Europeans.
Yeah, and that's the stuff of nightmares right there. Just caught the knuckle on the way in, and these side pockets on this Rassen table will not forgive. As Jason Shaw does the same thing, Michael.
Yeah, and he's been fortunate the way it's fallen. Manus, just 18 years of age, 66 in the world rankings. It's a big gamble to put him in the team, but that's not to say it's a bad thing. Very often in team formats you throw in youth. No battle scars, full of enthusiasm, and it can really be vindicated. Certainly looked good with the one rack he played in the opening team match.
Yeah, you'll notice a little conversation between the two as to how to play this. I'd say he did fine, cutting off the bottom of the pink. Yeah, going to the jump cue here.
It's the thing about playing in the opening team match, because you actually play so little pool, anything you do wrong is magnified, and that's why that one mistake from FSR is what we're all talking about from that first encounter.
Oh, what a hit here. The jump bank is on. That's kind of what I'm talking about. If they can somehow win this match, I think all is forgotten in the team point. That's how big this match is. It's going to need to settle. Oh, he got a little flick off the 7. That's going to help things.
It never looked in, did it, Scott?
No, I agree. I saw a little flick of the back arm there. Kind of like went out to the right. I think sending the cue ball. Yeah, we're not going to see the back arm there, but you can see the tip.
So Sanchez Ruiz has played very little pool so far. in this year's Reyes Cup, and already we've got 2 glaring errors to talk about from his point of view.
Yeah, the 8-ball that he missed early in game number 1 in the team event, that's kind of understandable, excusable. He was on the rail. Michael, to miss that 6-ball, there is no excuse. Not at this level.
Bit early to be calling it a dream debut for Manus, but opening night is going well for him so far. Broken ran from his rack in the team match, and he followed the 9, which gives the Asian pair the opening rack here. Some mistakes on both sides, but it's Manus and Yap who get over the line. And these early matches are so important, Scott, because what I'm thinking of is the Moscone 2 years ago in London, when USA just couldn't get a win on the board early on. They weren't being thrashed out of sight. They lost all of the first 6 matches, but half of them were hill-hill. And just by the end of the week, you were reflecting, if they just could have got a point on the board earlier on, it could have been a totally different contest. You've got to get that first point as quickly as possible and not let the opposition build up momentum, because in an event like this, it can be decisive.
Yeah, you couldn't say it any better, really. And there's a look at the young 18-year-old, number 66 in the world. Don't let that number fool you. I would argue if he's top 5 in the world when he's at his best, he could be number 1 in the world. That's AJ Manus.
Well, it's so noticeable how so many knowledgeable people in the game over the last few years have not just been tipping big things for him, but they've been saying this guy in a few years' time will be the best player on the planet. You could say it's a lot of pressure, but judging by the way he talks, and we saw him at the press conference before the event yesterday, he wears that expectation very, very well, and being chosen for something like this, I think the way he'll look at that is as a huge vote of confidence, helping him on his way. So, not a good night so far for FSR. He will break in rack 2. Alternate break here, remember.
Yeah, what's the cue ball doing? He's free of the upper right. Really a great opener. Jason can smooth this in and go forward. Just want to avoid the green 6. I think you've got to get into this a little bit of pace. And that'll work. Did he actually fall a little thin here? Wow, is he that thin to where he can come into the back of the 9? Almost looks impossible from here. Watch out, you can get away here. Yeah, I don't know. If he didn't hit the 6, the cue ball's way up by the purple 5. You can tell by the expression on Shaw's face, this is not straight in. I don't mind just chipping this up like towards the purple. Don't have to bring it all the way up there and then swing the cue ball around behind the 9. It's pretty natural. Could backdoor safety with the green 6 as well.
A frustrating start to the tournament for the rest of the world team in general, and for Sanchez Reyes in particular, continues.
Yeah, didn't want to allow them to see a piece of this, which they can. 5 seconds left. You'll hear the buzzer. They get one extension. He's using it now. I think if you want to elevate here, kind of punch the 4 through the 8. If you're leveled out, the 4 could draw off the 8 a little bit more and tough to judge. You see how it drew off the 8 because he was leveled out. High cue ball, axe is low when you're playing an object ball off another object ball.
Okay, so that'll make them feel a little better, and passed up their chance to take the opener. Europe with a really good opportunity now to level. These guys were the two who played together in 2 previous doubles matches. One in the Reyes Cup, one in the Mosconi. And they actually won together, Sean Sanchez Reyes, in the doubles against Johan Chua and Ko Pin-Yi last year. It was one of only 2 doubles matches Europe won.
Yeah, he's landed kind of on the 50 here. Big body lunge from FSR during the delivery there. It's common. He does this regularly. Sometimes more than others. Big shot from Shaw coming up.
Everyone looks a bit edgy, Scott, particularly from the rest of the world point of view.
Yeah, bit surprised at the miss there. It's the far side of the pocket once again. It's the second ball he's missed to the side, and the far side at that. He was elevated too, where the shot becomes a little easier in that scenario. What have they got? Does Starboy take on the combination? Yeah, mature. Very mature. I don't know if the advice came from Yap or not, but you got to expect this young man knew that shot all along.
Warm congratulations from his partner, best player in the world in 2025, Yap. Again, Sanchez Reyes under pressure.
Yeah, really classy hit right there. Probably the best to do it with the kick shot. FSR. Does he have a pocket to the lower right? I don't think so. This table is like glass. That's not terrible. Yeah, what do you do? The defensive play is as difficult as the offensive play. What does Shaw do here? This might work out just fine. Yes, sir.
He's already been to a ranking event final, Manus. He was only 16. He reached the final from a strong field in Singapore just under 2 years ago. Lost to Ko Pin-Yi. So we've known about him for some time. And the European, well, they are both European, but representing rest of the world pair, really Can't afford to pass up this one.
Yeah, this is basically a layup. Yeah, the Q-tip come up again just a bit, making the 8 a bit missable now. Not saying Shaw is going to miss it. This is typically routine, but it could have been a little better. This is just like the 6 that FSR missed.
Exactly what I was just thinking. And I'm sure it's somewhere in his mind as well. Doesn't make the same mistake again, though, so eventually Shaw and Sanchez Ruiz get it done, and we're level at 1-1. It does look edgy, though, Sanchez Ruiz, and of course he's got bad memories, really, of this arena last year, across the singles and the doubles. He only won 1 of his 5 matches. Is that the sort of thing that might be in his head at all?
You just never really know what's going on with these guys mentally, right? And this team atmosphere can really start to expose any flaws or weaknesses due to the pressure. Like you said, is he thinking about what happened last year? Is he thinking about what happened last week? Is he thinking about the 8 that he missed in game number 1? That's a problem.
And there is the story of Francisco Sanchez Ruiz from Spain. Indeed, he was part of the Spain team that won the World Cup for the first time back in 2022. Number 11 in the world now, but it was only last year that he was ranked number 1. And although he had a very disappointing Reyes last year, he had a really, really good Mosconi Cup, which included potting the winning 9 ball and extended Europe's streak to 5 in a row.